When I consider different challenges or weaknesses with the curriculum, I don't want to say there's not any, because that's probably not a critical analysis. The hardest one for me was knowing how to condense it. Because so much of it resonates with me and my students, I wanted to do all of it. And that's, as everybody in higher ed knows, you simply can't pull that much content out of a class and still stay true to the objectives and the competencies that you have to do within whatever your program or discipline is. So that was probably the most difficult, is I always wanted to do more, and it's hard to know when to stop, when one more conversation might be the one that helps somebody get it. The only other one, students didn't always follow. You know, I had to be really explicit, because they would go to the video site on RavelUnravel to view the videos, and I wanted their comments to be back in my class. So I had to be really specific in my directions of view them here, but return to our course shell so we can have our conversation and dialogue here rather than the public forum. Or they could certainly do it both if they wanted to join both the public forum and the private. I didn't have any big concerns or challenges. Students probably the most humorous one is I had a couple students, typically my more non-traditional students. As a generalization, I have found my my younger students fresh out of high school, they just want to talk. They love this stuff, and they want to take it, and the more almost the more controversial, the more they wanted to do it, which really fits with them developmentally. Some of my older, more non-traditional students who have been around the block a few times and have known if you bring up some of these topics you can get bitten, they were a little bit more hesitant. And so some of them expressed either in emails to me or in their discussion boards that they couldn't believe I was bringing up such personal topics. And I just asked them, I said, in your profession, in your career, when you're working with real people who have personal topics they want to bring up, how will you handle it if you've never practiced it? And the student that initially had expressed that to me by the end was fully on board, and usually by about our fourth discussion is fully on board. But that was probably the biggest challenge, and it wasn't difficult to overcome. I just had to help them reframe, why is this an important skill?